What's cracking, everybody? Chadman here. Today's episode is brought to you by our two sponsors, Wolf Creek Tattoo and Art Gallery over on 819 19th Street, and Detail Specialist of Bakersfield in the Auto Mall at 2701 Auto Mall Drive. You want to get a tattoo done? Go see Wolf Creek. You want to get your car detailed? Go to Detail Specialist of Bakersfield. This episode today, we went into holidays and some of the silly traditions and the religious connotations behind them, and we did not hold back. So someone's going to get butthurt, and if that's so, send us your hate mail. Get at us. We want that interaction. We like it. So check us out.
I got no strings, so I have fun. I'm not tied up to anyone. Take that string, but you can see there are no strings on me.
It's time to start the revolution!
In you the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world.
If you can keep it. The responsibility of a country is not in the hands of a privileged few. We are strong and we are free from tyranny as long as each one of us remembers his or her duty as a citizen.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chadman and Randy Show. Once again, it's just me and Randy here. What's up, man?
Not much.
So, since our last episode, well, shit, man, we just put that episode this weekend for Born for War.
Yeah.
So, So, what's up? Hasn't been that long. But it's been a while since me and Randy been in the studio, just the two of us, because previously it was...
Well, last
Tony.
one was, the weekend, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, we had our sponsor, Tony, from Wolf Creek Tattoo come in, and then Born for War. So, it just hasn't been me and you for like a week or two. So, what's up?
Yeah, it's been a week. I think it's been a week.
Well, right on. Yeah, man, so lots happened. I just got back from Vegas. We can talk about that real quick. And then a Supreme Court justice was potentially murdered. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think happened there?
I think he's a big fatty. He probably had sleep apnea.
Well, anyway, Supreme Court justice is dead. And what's funny about that is that people don't understand our government. So many Americans out there don't fucking get that the president isn't the be-all, end-all. We have Congress, and then we have that third branch that no one ever thinks about, and that's the Supreme Court. And there's 9 justices on the Supreme Court, 9 judges, and 1 just died. So, what's the implications of that? The implications of that meaning that the president appoints a judge, and then Congress approves it or denies it, right? That could be huge right now because we're in an election year. You got to think of it like this. Obama's leaving office. What's he going to do? He's going to put a judge in there that he agrees with or that sees things in his way of his twisted fucking anti-American way of thinking. That could be huge, man. That could be real huge, especially with a lot of the stuff coming up. You know, the Supreme Court's going to be looking at, Obamacare. They're going to be looking at illegal immigration. All this stuff is going to affect all of us, and we could potentially have another judge on there who doesn't have our interests at hand. So that's the implications of that. Which is
well, I mean, he's the court, like right now with him being there, I think it's 4-4, like liberal conservative. So, you know, that's the swing vote.
Yeah, and I think it's odd, and which is why a lot of people are saying it's kind of shady that this guy died because it had to be this guy to die, right? Because if it was anybody else.
Well, no, I mean, no, I just have to take one of the conservatives down. I mean, it
right,
worked either
so,
way.
What was this guy? This guy was conservative, right?
Yeah.
So this was a conservative judge, which means that now, that, like Randy just said, there's 4 and 4, 4 liberal, 4 conservative. This is big, man. This could be huge. In the Supreme Court, a lot of people don't really pay attention. Your average person out there that you see at the club or the bar or at work or wherever the fuck you go, the average person doesn't even, they probably couldn't even name any of the judges. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can. Let's see if we can do it.
I got Clarence Thomas, I'm out.
Clarence Thomas is the black guy. There's the old lady.
Sotomayor is one of them, I think.
Okay, there's another one. The old lady that I'm talking about is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right?
Is she gone?
No, she's still kicking, man. Then you got Scalia just died.
He's the one that bid it.
So fuck, man. There's 3. Roberts is one.
I guess.
And that's it, man. Fuck, I can't even name them. So, I don't know. Something to think about. But like I said, I just got back from Vegas. I had a blast. Vegas, for me, it was my first time going and not drinking. Been alcohol-free for about 7 months. It'll be 7 months in a week or two. I had a blast. It was fun. It was definitely hard to not drink. But I had a good time. Sat through fucking Mariah Carey. Bro, there were so many fucking gay guys and drunk bitches in that show. The dude behind me was there with his wife, did the same thing, brought her there on Valentine's Day, and like 4 times during the show I leaned back and I looked at him and he was either asleep or looking at me and rolling his eyes. It was a shit show. You know, Mariah Carey's one of those singers that's way too into herself.
Oh yeah.
Way too into herself. I understand if you're a celebrity, you're a diva, you're a pop icon, you're gonna be you're gonna have an ego. I mean, doing anything in entertainment, I think you gotta have somewhat of an ego. However, this chick takes it to a whole nother level. You know, she doesn't even dance when she's on stage.
She's probably pilled up or drunk. She'd fall over if she did anyway.
I mean, I've never seen a show like this, and I don't pay attention enough. I just assume Mariah Carey type of singer she is. She's up there dancing. She's got people behind her dancing. Nah, dude. She's up there they're literally carrying her around. Literally, dude. There's big-ass, buff black guys carrying her around from place to place on the stage, and all she talks about is herself.
Is she 50 now? I mean, close to it.
I don't know.
I mean, she ain't going to be getting crazy.
She's like the next Elizabeth Taylor, though. She's been married, I think, 3 or 4 times. She's talking about her new fiance. And my wife was telling me about her new fiance. And, you know, my wife being a fan, everything Mariah Carey does, my wife can justify. But I'm thinking to myself, this chick's been married 3, 4 times, all to, like, extremely rich dudes. This guy in Australia just asked her to marry her. 36-carat ring, dude. Wow. I didn't even know they made diamonds that big. I'm thinking this thing looks like that fucking Titanic diamond.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know. But on itself, Vegas was fun, man. I gambled. I won a little. You know, pretty much came out. I lost a little bit, but, I mean, it was fun. I had a good time.
I mean, it's people watching, too, if you're into that type of thing. I don't know. I haven't been in years, but I used to go all the time with my parents. Like, for years and years and years, we'd go all the time. And it's been... And I know there's been a million new places built since I used to go, but it's just I don't care anymore. I basically, it's like going to Disneyland or something, like when you worked there, or like you've seen the back workings of it and all the magic's gone, so I'm done.
It was all done up in Chinese. I don't know if it was, did the Chinese New Year just hit?
Yeah, it just did. It's like the Year of the Monkey, just
last
week.
That's why. Okay, so that makes sense, because... You know, I wanted to stay at Caesar's Palace for years now. Years. And I've always gone to Vegas and gone the cheap route and stayed at, like, fucking Excalibur or just one of the, like, Treasure Island. I've never stayed at, you know, Venetian, Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, like the nice places. So I finally got to go and stay at Caesar's Palace, and the entire fucking place, dude, is done up in Chinese New Year. And there's Chinese people everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
To me... A room in Vegas is a little overhyped anyway, because how much time do you spend in that shit?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was Valentine's Day, so after the show we went back.
But I mean,
you know,
we got a decent, like when we got married, the Luxor was relatively new, got sweet the Luxor, but other than that, to me, we are always kind of the mind of like, you're going to Vegas, how much time do you spend in the room? It's either to knock one out or pass out, and either way, it doesn't matter if you're doing that and wherever you're at, so it's like, whatever.
The amount of money that goes through that place, dude, blows my fucking mind. I couldn't believe the amount of money, and I've always known, but, you know, when you're sober, you know, when you go there to Vegas, 9 people out of 10 are going to go there and get shit-faced and party and have a good time. When you go there and you're not, okay, and your mind is able to actually go and observe things without, you know, because you're not inebriated, I got to pick up on a lot of things, dude, and what stood out, it's something I've always known but never really looked at from a sober perspective while I was there, is the amount of money that goes through that place.
They don't build 70-story billion-dollar things for, you know, because they're not making any cash.
Unbelievable. And, you know, we went to go to the buffet because the Caesar's Palace buffet is kind of well-known. $50 a plate. We ended up not going, and we went to the Forum where they have all the stores, and we ate at the Cheesecake Factory because she's never been to one, which is weird. I don't know why. But we ate at the Cheesecake Factory, ate for like half that, and had a blast, dude. So Vegas could be fun for anybody out there who wants to go and save money. There's ways to, but I mean.
Well, I mean, what's the first thing they do to you? You cash in your money for chips. There's no clocks.
There's no windows.
It's not the real world, and that's all the reason. Because if you sat there, if they had you peel off money out of your wallet every time that you made a bet, you'd think about it differently. Then when you go in, you cash in once, and you get all these magical chips who, once you cash them in, they don't mean shit anymore. You lose the fact that that's $25. I mean, come over to my house and play a $25 hand of blackjack. See if you just whip out there and just whip out $25 out on the kitchen table and be like, all right, let's go, $25 heads up blackjack. You're not doing it.
No, fuck no. And I did notice there's no windows, there's no clocks, like you said. It's definitely.
You don't know if it's day or night. I mean, that's all the reason. Other than the fact you can tell by casino traffic.
So she fell asleep in about 3 o'clock in the morning the night we were there, and I got washed up and went downstairs, and I thought I'd walk around the casino and just kind of see what's going on. You know, maybe get some last-minute slots. Who knows? Maybe come up and win, surprise her, and be like, hey, look, we won a couple thousand. Yeah, that didn't happen, but I did walk around, and it looked the same as it was during the day. It's trippy, man. It's
other than like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, you see vacuums everywhere because they're cleaning everything. But
right,
other than that.
And there's less people. But it's a different dynamic, man. It's a different dynamic. It's a whole nother. I mean, Vegas is something else, man. I had a good time. It was different, man. Like I said, every time I've gone before, I've been shit-faced within the first hour I've been there, and it's been like that for the next 2 or 3 days that I'm staying. And typically, she's not too happy, but it was cool. I had a good time, man. I think I went there and I didn't put myself first, so that's what kind of made it enjoyable. Well, I am going to go back for New Year's. I'm going to have a platoon reunion with some of the guys I was in Afghanistan with, and that might be a little different because we'll be there longer, but I don't know. Vegas is cool. I don't think I like it as much as I used to now that I don't drink. I mean, that's what it's all based on, man. It's all based on a big party.
That's
the America's party.
I don't understand the people who go and book 5 to 7 days there. To me, that's a 2 or 3 day and get out. Like,
yeah.
But these people who go and spend, and either they're really gamblers and they're losing everything, or they're not, and they are there for all the side attractions and everything else. Because, I mean, if you're going to go and play very much, I mean, you got a couple-day run and you need to get out, or you're going to mortgage your house, your car, your kids' future, everything.
Well, that's why they have so many fucking pawn shops off the strip. And that's why that pawn shop, or that pawn, what's that TV show?
We went years ago, before they were even a TV show. Like, shit, I was still in high school, and those guys were dicks.
Oh, I bet you they still are.
They were, back even to look, it was years and years before this is 20 years ago, and those guys were dicks.
Dude, you bring up people watching, man. Some of the fucking people I saw there. Vegas is the only place where you'll get a 300-plus pound chick putting on a dress that a 110-pound chick should be wearing. Or you'll get dudes there who think that they're God's gift to women. I was paying close attention to that. The guys there,
just the douchebags,
the douchebag dudes that were going there thinking that they're, they've watched fucking Hangover one too many times, or
Entourage,
Entourage a few times, and they're walking the strip like they're fucking Mark Wahlberg, or fucking having the joy of their life, and it's like, no, stop it, and it's so funny, man. I people watched, and some of the characters I've watched. And then, what's even more funny is so at Caesars, you're thinking the waitresses there are going to be all hot and everything. Some of the waitresses I saw there, bro, were like 60, 70 years old, with their tits all hanging out, these short little skimpy. It's like they've been doing this since the 70s. What the fuck?
Well, you got to remember, though, too, is that Caesars is still an all-right attraction, but it ain't the spot anymore.
No. Now you got, dude, there's so many new...
You're thinking, this is 20 years ago thinking where it was Caesar's Palace was, the shit and that was it. But, now,
No, I went in the past and partied at the Venetian. I've gone to Bellagio. I've never stayed there, though. And there's all kinds of hotels there now. The Aria is super cool. My wife stayed there a couple years ago. And there are a lot of new places. So if you haven't been to Vegas in years...
See, this doesn't even, that essence of Vegas doesn't attract me at all. I'd rather go, if I'm going to go, I'm going gambling, and I'm going to stay in old, shitty downtown and we're gonna do work.
Like
I'm
the
not
old
about the I'm talking downtown. I'm not about all the glitz, glamour, douchebaggery that all these. I'm not fooling myself. I'm not hanging out in these multi-billion-dollar hotels and go stroke myself off for a couple of days thinking that I'm a member of Entourage. No, I'm a dirtbag piece of shit, and I'm going downtown where the other dirtbag pieces of shit are, and we'll, high five and get drunk.
Do you remember that Vegas vacation where Chevy Chase loses all of his money and he goes downtown to like this shitty casino?
Yep.
And their games are like, they don't have poker or blackjack. It's, okay, guess what's in my hand?
But
Like,
but I
how
know
many
what
fingers?
casino. I know what casino that is representing that. Trust me, I've spent so much time in those downtown casinos with my stepdad.
He's like, how many fingers are behind my back? And he's like, 5. Oh, shit, you lost. I don't know, man. It seems like there's way too many dudes out there wearing sport coats thinking they're God's gift to women, and in reality they're fucking douchebags and they're weak. I mean, it was a good time. I had fun. I mean, I will go back, and I like that. I like the people watching. I like to be around certain crowds, so just to laugh and have a good time. That kind of stuff appeals to me because that's where they go. Having said that, I've come to the conclusion too that if you stay at a nice place like Caesars, or you go to Aria or Venetian or Bellagio or any of these other places, why leave? When my wife and I were talking about it, I was like, that night I said after the show, I said, do you want to go walk the strip? Do you want to go check out other places? And she said, well, why? We're here. Everything we need is here. So we didn't really leave Caesar's Palace. I went to go run and talk to a buddy, went to go try and meet up with him, but it didn't work out. He was next door at the Mirage. But that pretty much proved it. If you're going to go pay the money to go to a resort, why leave?
Well, not to mention, I mean, dude, it's so planned. The casinos are back. It's so. They don't make it easy for you to get out of there either.
No.
Everything's a long distance.
No.
Dude, it is so fucking planned.
Hey, they're geniuses.
I mean, that's the thing about with downtown, too, because a lot of that, you leave it in, it's a player's luck thing. They're like, oh, I'm getting my ass kicked at Caesar's Palace. Let's go to this other casino where everything's going to change around and everything's going to be better and we're going to win millions. You're not, for one. And two, it's just that not stereotype, but just where you think you're going to have good luck type thing, and it's not. I mean, it's all the same shit, so that's what they do is you bounce them. That's the cool thing about downtown, though, is if you're going to do it, is those things are right next door to each other, and you just pop in and out.
It's so funny watching, because you can tell a group of people, and you can be like, yeah, they got money. I mean, you can tell by the way they dress, the way they look. Yeah, okay, they got money. And then you'll be walking a little bit, and you'll see another group of people who are dressed up, trying to look like the people you just saw, and you can tell that they got. You know how many illegal immigrants I saw walking around there trying to dress the role and play the part? It was so funny, man. Just people in general. I was laughing. It was funny. I had a good time. But anyways, man.
But you're trying to make us look bad at this Valentine's Day shit. What are your thoughts on Valentine's Day anyway?
I think Valentine's Day is probably the most fucked up
bunch of bullshit
made up by lonely women. Valentine's Day, dude.
Made up by the card company.
Yeah, so we got to have one day a year where we have to prove our love. I mean, it's so cliche and it's so, generic coming from two guys on a podcast, but let's be real. What's the importance of one day a year having to make it special for somebody? It runs especially stressful for people who during that one time of year maybe or may not have enough money, but it's like the rest of the year they're busting their ass working for their significant other or their girlfriend or wife, whatever. It's a fucking shit show, man. I can't stand it. The only reason I chose to do this for her on Valentine's Day was because I bought the tickets when they went on sale in November, and I gave it to her for Christmas. And I was like, look,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, look, man, this is going to sell out. We're going to go in Valentine's Day. I figured it'd be cool. But, dude, I've never been a big Valentine's Day guy.
Nah,
you know?
It's horse shit.
Fucking dinner. Let's go to dinner. You know, I'll get you something nice. You know, these women who expect men to go out there and fucking pour out their bank accounts and go get, like, the best restaurant reserved and, you know, let's make it special. And why, dude? Why? What about the other 364 fucking days a year?
Well, not to mention, you know where these dudes mess up is they get crazy when they first get together with these women and they go all out and here's the limo trip and here's all this other shit. Dude, you're setting yourself up for a life of shit. Disappoint them early and often so then when you do good, they'll be happy and you realize this is what's going to happen for the rest of your life. I've been married far too fucking long to get all crazy. We went and saw Deadpool and we sat around the house yesterday and watched movies and just didn't do shit.
See, and like for me, honestly, this year, because look, I'm married. I don't want to label her as one of those Valentine's Day maniacs, because she's not. But hold on, she still expects something on Valentine's Day.
Mine got a card.
You know, like if I were to just to walk in the door on Valentine's Day and not give her, like you said, a card or a gift or dinner reservations, nothing, she wouldn't say nothing. She'd be like, okay, you know, and I'd be like, hey, we're making corn dogs in the oven and we're gonna watch fucking Walking Dead marathons. She'd be like, okay, cool, but she would save it and she'd throw it in my face later on. First fight or first anything, you know, the hot day and things aren't going her way, she would use that to fucking, well, you didn't even do this on Valentine's Day. All women are like that to a certain degree. They want some kind of special fucking treatment, which leads me to the next topic. What about us guys? What if we want National Blowjob Day?
Blowjob and Steak Day. We're going to go back with this debate again.
Well, I want September 15th to be National Blowjob and Steak Day for all men. And we want to be taken out to a nice restaurant, and we want to go home and have candles lit, music playing, and we want to be given the best blowjob of our life.
Well, I got somebody asked me, said, "What are you going to make her breakfast on Valentine's?" No, I do that every fucking day. Are you going to make dinner for her? Well, that won't matter either, because I do that every day too. So piss off. Every day for her is Valentine's Day. You're fucking lucky.
Oh
Send me
God,
fucking
dude.
cards.
Here's the thing.
Rule.
Valentine's Day is ridiculous. I get it if it's...
What does it mean if you're supposed to? That's like another thing. Like, I hardly ever drink on New Year's Eve because I want to be sober when everybody else is drunk. And I just don't like doing what I'm told like that, where I'm supposed to and that's expected. And no. I can get drunk on Tuesday. I don't need your fucking special day. And
all these schmucks, you know, and if you're listening, you're one of them. I'm sorry, you're a schmuck. But if all those schmucks out there who ask their fiancés or ask their girlfriends to marry them on Valentine's Day, first of all, are you that dense, man? You can't be You can't be original at all to any certain degree that you got to ask why. Why on Valentine's Day?
You know who got over? One of my friends last year. They had a baby on Valentine's Day. That dude has a pass for life now. It's kid's birthday. I'd love to do Valentine's Day, but, you know, it's kid's birthday. I can't put the kid second place.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I had a Christmas kid, but that was whatever. But I'm telling you, that Valentine's Day baby, that dude, I told him, I was like, dude, you don't understand, because they're not even married yet. Like, they're getting ready to, I think. But I was like, you don't understand the gold mine you hit by having this kid on Valentine's Day.
I mean, like I said, I don't understand why there has to be one day a year that you have to do that. At the same time, do I do it? Here's what I do, man. Every Valentine's Day comes up, I make sure that, you know, hey, let's go out to dinner. That's it. But I'm not fucking rolling the red carpet out. There's not roses waiting on the fucking bed when we get home. I'm not spending the whole week going without and saving money all week long or all month long so I can get her a gift. I'm like, look, let's go to dinner. Have I gotten her gifts on Valentine's Day? Sure. But I'm not going out of my way for it.
But see, dude, like, it's like with us, it's like, with Christmas and stuff, we've decided even for each other not to do Christmas because we go, if there's something we want, we go and get it. We don't wait like, oh, no, something came out in October that I want. Well, don't buy anything until, you know, because Christmas is coming. No, if there's something we want, we go get it. So, like, I asked her, I said, is there something you want? Do you want to go to dinner? And, I mean, I'm sorry, this isn't the fucking pioneer days where we had to load up the horses and go into town and shit to go to dinner. We can go to dinner on... I don't want to go on Sunday or on Valentine's Day, which was Sunday, with every other asshole when all the restaurants are packed and crazy. You're going to get shitty service. Your meal's going to be shit anyway. So you might as well go. To tell you the truth, if you wanted to go out for Valentine's Day, your best bet would have been, hey, can we do this early and go Saturday night? Because I guarantee you none of these assholes were out on Saturday night.
I think those chicks that are needy, that are clingy and needy, and they just feel that Valentine's Day has to be
It's to show to other
perfect.
women. That's why they force it. You know what? I'm going to tell you what. It's for generally a lot of it is for these women who have fucked up relationship where their husband's out cheating on them, doing whatever, and they both got a bunch of shit to cover up because they want the biggest bouquet of flowers on the planet delivered to them at work. Oh, look how much he loves me. He loves me so much. When every woman in your office knows just last week you were crying because he's out there and had a threesome with some chicks he met at a bar while you were sitting at home throwing bonbons down your throat. Knock it off.
You know, the whole history of engagement rings, that wasn't even started for 100 years ago as far as being public. What's the purpose of giving a ring to somebody?
Ownership.
You know what I mean? I mean, ownership. I mean, okay, well then we live in a society where
that's basically what it's coming down to. You're marking territory. You might as well just piss on them. If we had good enough scent, you might just walk up and hype your leg like your dog does on something.
In marriage contract, I mean, I have to agree with a lot of people who have been together for a long time and aren't married. It's like, well, why do you want to bring the state involved into this, a piece of paper? Because then that opens up so much more.
Well, I mean,
it
is
about,
a ridiculous. It is a ridiculous contract when you really went into it. I'm sure any lawyer would advise you against doing it. And I mean, especially now, with some of the the healthcare lighting up, where you can do a partnership to be on each other's insurance and stuff. I mean, it's really. Well, you're bringing the church and the state into your marriage.
Yeah, neither of which I want to have any say-so in anything in my life. I really don't. So why bring it into your love life? Love life and relationships are already completely complicated and fucked up I mean, they're just not easy. Okay, being in a relationship's not easy. They're just not. We can go on and on about that. But bringing in the state into it, I sound pretty hypocritical because, yeah, I'm married. But I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, we were talking about this very same thing, and it's good. I mean, it's actually a good point. Why do marriage contracts even exist? Why is it so important? What, okay, so insurance, right? Okay, you want to have kids? It's fucking silly, dude.
Well, I mean, so is Mother's Day and Father's Day. They're all goofy concepts invented by Christmas is too. I mean, Christmas follows a lot of the pagan rituals and all that to be what they say it is. But and it didn't get popular until department stores and card companies decided. I mean, really, not popular, but big.
I want to say at some places there was even Valentine's Day stuff up with Christmas.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So do you think? You think holidays are kind of a way to drive the economy?
100%. And you know what I'm surprised actually is
what's the next one we gotta look forward to?
St. Patrick's Day. That's just Drunks Day. Then you got Easter. That Easter shit's been out for a month already too.
That's the dumbest fucking holiday ever. Seriously.
Well, this year it's been crazy because I think Easter's early this year. Which, if anybody can tell you for exact how Easter works, they're lying. I know it's got something to do with the moon and all this, but because that shit one is in April and then it's in March, but it seems like, dude, it was like Lent was just like last week, which made me laugh because I was sitting at work all day, people were coming in, I'm like, what? Like, I thought somebody was running into shit, like when they were walking in the doors or something, because they had, the ash on their face, and I'm like, what the fuck is everybody like there was hanging spider webs outside or something, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, all right, shit, I know what it is. But it seems like we just got over Christmas, and then Lent is started. It seemed like early this year, and it's like, damn, it's like we're already into Easter, which is spring, and it's like, wow, wasn't it just Christmas 2 days ago?
Well, Randy, you're talking about Easter being about the moon. Easter's about Jesus Christ being risen.
Yeah, but the date's based by the third moon on a Wednesday.
Here's the thing. Okay, since we're on the topic of holidays, man, I think are driven entirely, are created to drive the economy. I think there's a deep underlying religious context to every holiday, which I think is completely silly. I'm not religious anymore. However, I was raised in an extremely strict Catholic family. I married a Catholic girl, extremely strict Catholic in her own attributes. And for me to just say, and I do say, and I've had in-laws and family members come to me and be like, very critical of my choice, that I don't want to subscribe to any religion anymore. And for some reason, that's a big deal to them. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if you love me, you accept me for that. Right? I don't believe in these stupid holidays. Let me put this into context for you. So I have a 1-year-old son, right? Got the boy. He's 1. I'm going to lie to him his entire childhood. I'm going to lie to my son. And you're like, well, what are you going to lie to your son about? I'm going to lie to him about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. All the while putting him in these Catholic schools to get his first communion, and because my wife's going to have him do that and get his catechism and all that. He's going to come to me one day and be like, wait a minute, Santa Claus isn't real? And I'm gonna have to tell him, no, we made that up. Well, so what's Christmas about? Oh, it's actually about the birth of Christ. And then he's gonna come to me and be like, okay, the Easter Bunny's not real? No, sorry, we lied to you about that. But what's Easter about? It's about Christ rising, which is just as silly as a fucking 8-foot-tall rabbit jumping around and a fat man on a fucking sleigh. So I think holidays in general are just fucking insane, dude. I think they're dumb, but I celebrate them. So that's the hypocrite.
Well, my kids were baptized in a Catholic church, and I'm way not religious, like not at all. But that was for my wife's family, which I fought it too, because that was when my daughter was born. I was really pretty militant about any religion. I'm not down. And now anymore, I don't care. I really don't. If I don't really like the people who I know are the biggest assholes on the planet are the people who, and you see it on Facebook all the time, who always say, only God can judge me, because then that's your excuse for going out to fuck off and do whatever you want, and then say nobody else can say whatever, because you're going to go off and suck 32 random dicks and then post only God can judge me, I love Jesus and my wife or my husband or whatever, depending which way you want to go with these dicks. But don't judge me, whatever, and then the next day you're all holy and everything. And that's fine.
It's like that with
whatever.
everything.
But this isn't Monopoly. You don't get a get out of jail free card. We do realize it, and don't get me wrong, don't think when we do see shit like that we don't chuckle and laugh and go, yeah, last night you chugged 35 cocks and now here you go.
Yeah, only God can judge you.
I'm gonna go repent and everything else, and everybody else is supposed to forget that or whatever. But so I don't care anymore. To me, if that makes you feel good, if it brings you peace, if it makes you act a better person, fine, do it. Just don't hurt anybody else in the process.
The whole concept of lying to our children about 8-foot-tall rabbits that break into your houses while you're sleeping and leave grass and fucking jelly beans in your home. First of all, what the fuck? What is with the two biggest holidays, Easter and Christmas? And Christmas, you have a 200-pound fat man landing on your roof.
300-pound fucking breaking and entering guy.
Breaking and entering and eating that you're supposed to leave food for. Who in the fuck leaves food out for somebody who's going to break into their house? But okay, he's leaving you gifts. Okay, so this guy, first of all, he's watching you all year long. He knows if you've been bad, knows if you've been good, so he's a fucking peeping Tom. First of all, I don't want nobody watching my kid 24/7. I'll be the one to decide. Now, granted, I see the argument coming, well, we're Santa Claus. Okay, but you're not telling your kids that. So you're telling your kids
spoiler alert,
that there's some magical man in a frozen tundra with reindeer and midgets making wooden toys that nobody fucking plays with, by the way. And he breaks in your house, gives you gifts, and you gotta leave him out in cookies. That's fucking absurd.
You want this asshole in this toy shop that's building all these wooden toys when all you want's a PlayStation. You better give me an Asian Santa Claus, or this white bearded guy can go fuck himself.
They don't even change with the times. All these Christmas decorations and songs and movies, they don't change with the times. They don't show the elves making iPads, like in white suits so they don't get dust anywhere, and the mouth, the face guards.
All we have is Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs.
Yeah, it's like kids don't want to fucking play with that shit. And then let's go fast forward 4 months to Easter, where we tell our kids that an 8-foot-tall giant rabbit is gonna just, I guess, hop around our neighborhoods, somehow break into our houses, and leave little plastic.
Shoots eggs out of his ass.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? Why is a rabbit delivering eggs to people? Okay, and then jelly beans and chocolate and little gifts here. The whole concept, man, is just, I don't want my son to be the kid that doesn't believe in Santa Claus, because then now you're going against the grain. But at the same time, I want to hold true to my beliefs, man, and be like, look, this is stupid.
To me, that's imagination. I don't care about that part. But I was also afraid. I didn't want my kid to be the last kid not to know that Santa Claus was real. The one goofy kid when everybody else has figured it out, but he's still running around going, well, Santa's going to bring me in. Shut up. You're going to get beat up.
What's this new thing, man? The new Elf on a Shelf thing that came out for Christmas. And I refuse 100%. I told every family member, if you buy that fucking thing, I will light it on fire.
We had one, but we're fucking with it.
We're not doing it. Like, what is that about?
We did it as creepy, like there was some peeping Tom pedophile looking at you or something, because we'd put him in weird places and all. We do scare the shit out of each other.
Yeah, and everybody knows how I feel, so they tag me in the pictures or G.I. Joe's waterboarding him.
We'd put him in a bookshelf, like where you just see like eyes like peering at you or something. Like we were trying to scare the shit out of each other.
Yeah, but you're making I see what you're doing.
He was like satanic, like devil horns, elf on the show.
I don't understand. So Valentine's Day does get me thinking about it, because why is it one day a year where all this pressure has to get put, let's face it, on men? Okay, I mean, yeah, there are gay couples out there, so I'm sure there's some women out there that feel the pressure too. But I mean, women don't get stressed out. God, what am I going to get Bobby for Valentine's Day? Or, oh, I don't know, what should I get Dave? He really wants this wrench set. There's no pressure on women. As far as I'm concerned, women don't give a fuck about getting guys stuff on Valentine's Day, because they're more concerned about what is he going to get me, right?
I don't know. I feel like an asshole because my wife will. Like, she'll buy me shit. She bought this stupid mic stand that I'm about to throw across the room.
But do you think women who go out and buy gifts like that for their guys do it because they're expecting something in return? But
it's also, no.
Like fuel for an argument in the future? Like,
not to mention, though, but we went and saw Deadpool, and she bought me this mic stand and hat. It's practical shit. You buy women chocolate, and it's great. And then they're going to bitch about getting fat. Their jeans don't fit. And then flowers. I swear I looked at flowers. My wife's not a big rose person anyway. But I was like, maybe I'll buy flowers. And I'm sorry, I can't decide to go spend a bunch of money on some shit that's going to die that I'm going to have to throw away in 3 days.
Which they price gouge anyways. I mean, you can go get a bouquet of roses today, February 5th. What's today? February 15th? You can go right now to any FTL, what are those? FTD flower stores, or
pager on the side of the street,
1-800-Flowers, or a fucking grocery store, and get roses right now for like half price. In 2 or 3 months, same thing. They'll be a little bit hiked up for Mother's Day, but dude, these stores and these people raise the prices on it. So between flowers, dinner, a gift, let's say a small piece of jewelry, guys are having to pay at least a few $100s, man, a couple Benjamins.
I think it might have been the first year we were together. My stepdad, like, the night before said, it's funny, you brought up Vegas, said, let's go to Vegas. So we went to Vegas. Me and him, we spent 2 days in Vegas, and we got back the 15th. So I said, shit. So I went to Long's when it was Long's and bought a bunch of Valentine's Day shit at 75% off. That Valentine's Day fucking ruled. That was butt cheap, and I got over. But nonetheless, I mean, I just can't. It's hard for me to do it. It sucks because we've been married so long that I don't feel because honestly, it's not a display to each other. And if you need that display to each other, then that's something you two need to look in the mirror about.
Right. If you need one day a year where you have to show each other you love one another, then there's a fucking problem.
Right. I mean, because it should be as simple as, anything during the year should take the place in this. You're doing it for others. It is such a keeping up with even though Christmas is anymore, Christmas is like that. Like, you're buying shit.
Have you ever seen the houses?
People want to take pictures and put on Facebook
of how many presents they have
underneath the tree.
Right.
And people will comment too. Look, and if they won't say it on the post, they'll say it out,
Yeah, and that's what it's become. All this says a lot about our society, man, that we've become a very materialistic society.
My 4-year-old got a new Mac, an iPad. Really? What the fuck are they going to do with it?
Okay, I got to be careful with this. Fuck it, I don't even care. They don't listen anyways. We have family members who got their kids iPads and Beats. And, they got a couple kids that are, one's in middle school, and I get it. And that's fine, cool. I mean, this is America. Get your kids whatever you want. I'm all in favor of it. But then you turn your head and you look. You see other people who are doing the same thing, and then you look and it's like whether people know it or not, they want to get the best gift for their kids so their kids don't go to school when breaks up and are the ones that didn't get nice shit, regardless of if you can afford it or not. It really is kind of fucked up. We live in a society where, like you said, man, it's like keeping up with Joneses. Well, and everybody watches shows like Kardashians and these reality shows and these celebrities, and they want to live like them. They want to be like them. That's what I saw at Vegas this weekend. everybody wanted to walk around looking like they were a fucking celebrity, dude.
Well, we used to always laugh. You remember, like, back in the day when starter jackets were the shit?
Yeah, hell yeah, I remember.
We used to always laugh that you would see, like, you'd go to Magic Mountain, and people would go dressed to Magic Mountain wearing their best shit, no matter what it was.
Oh, yeah.
So it could be summer and be hot as balls, and you'd see some asshole in a starter jacket with a fucking beanie on or whatever, totally not dressed. Or you'd see chicks in short micro skirts with ridiculous high heels on, knowing that they're going to have to tread up and down these goddamn mountains.
What is wrong with somebody's mindset who thinks like that? Yes, I have seen that countless times. Disneyland, you see it. You see it at Disneyland. You see it all the time. Recently, last summer with my first summer home, what was it? Yeah. Last summer with my first full summer home, I remember I was walking somewhere, walking my dogs or walking maybe at like a shopping center or the mall somewhere, and I saw people like that wearing fucking beanies.
Yeah, it's 107.
And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Well, I mean, I guess if
Well, the
you're
first thing I'm
bald-
going to be like, you're going to smell like piss because the sweat and everything else, you're going to stink just like a fucking sweat hog. And not to mention, we know what you're doing. And the other, like, on this materialism in society, and I get looks for this every year, but when the donations come across for Toys for Tots, you get nothing from me. Nothing. Because I know that people... Now, if it was for, like, say, like some orphanage charity or whatever, but I've seen... There used to be, when you would watch on the news years ago, there would be humility. People didn't want to show their faces on those cameras to go pick up those Toys for Tots things. Now, people feel that shit is owed to them, that's their shopping tradition. Mom and Dad didn't stop buying their drugs that year, didn't put away any money for cigarettes, beer, or anything. Because if you can't scrape together a few bucks and get your kid some trivial present, you're a bag of shit. And what that needs to be done is taught that, look, the shit isn't free. This is how you build a generation on a welfare state. Because then you go, look, you've had to save money, you've had to scrimp to make this shit happen. And if that kid goes without a year for Christmas, it's going to suck for them. But I guarantee you that they're going to be like, you know what? This shit is not fucking happening to my kids. Not standing in line on the camera, waving for the camera, going, here we are to go shopping. They do, dude. You see them like celebrating, and it's a big party. And there used to be humility where people wouldn't even want to show their fucking faces when they were standing in that line. You would see people turn from the camera. No, people are diving in front going, oh shit, I hope I get a PlayStation 4. Really, motherfucker? You want to go get your kid a free PlayStation 4 at a gift line? And pissed that maybe that the toy selection is as good as they thought they were? Fuck that. You get nothing from me.
Yeah, you just nailed it, man. I mean, it's a handout society.
And if you do want to give, find a family. Find a family where they've lost a job. Spend some time instead of just giving to the cause overall, which I'm not saying is a bad thing either, but I'm not down with it because I'm telling you, I've seen too much where you get people going in. That's like they build their that's planned in. I'm not going to save any money because I know at the end of the day, Toys for Tots is going to save my ass where I don't look like a total piece of shit in front of my kids.
Look at the superheroes today. Back in the day, I mean, Batman's always been around, but back in the day, you had Superman, Spider-Man. Superman being Clark Kent, who, when he wasn't Superman, he was working in a newspaper and he lived kind of meagerly, right? Then you had Spider-Man, who was, when he wasn't Spider-Man, he was a young dude working at a newspaper, living meagerly. Now you have Tony Stark. All the kids want to be Iron Man. All the kids want to be Iron Man. They want to be the billionaire guy who has all kinds of stuff. They want to be Batman, who has all the toys, all the money. So money, and of course all the girls want to be like the Kardashians. All the girls, all the middle school and teenage girls, most of them are out there trying to follow what, Selena Gomez is doing or what, this Kylie Jenner is doing. Or it's all about materialism, what you look like, what kind of phone do you have. I had a teenage daughter, I still do, but she lived with me for 4+ years, and I saw it, and, kids would come home with stuff, she'd want something, and I think it's been like that throughout time, but now it's worse, because We live in that day and age where it's materialism first, not value second. You're willing to.
No, it's shown in your house what you have or don't have every day, and plus with social media, you're seeing what others are getting too every day, thrust right in your face, and not to mention, people years ago didn't have the debt ceiling and are carrying the debt that that everybody is right now to keep up with the Joneses.
And when you come across somebody who doesn't care. When you come across somebody who doesn't care about what they wear, or doesn't care about the car they drive, or doesn't care about having a smartphone or whatever, they're usually the weird ones, right? Like when you meet somebody that doesn't have a smartphone, what's the first thing you think? You're like, damn, motherfucker, you don't got a smartphone? What?
Yeah.
Right? And then, or when you come across somebody that pulls
But
up,
then there's part of me for a split second, I go, that's freedom, though, too. Like,
well, I mean, it is. It really is. And then you look at somebody that pulls up in a shitty car, and you're like, damn, dude. And they don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, man, I got a piece of shit car, but you know what? It gets me from here to there. And you're always like, wish I could think like that. I mean, that's just coming from my perspective. Because I don't want to drive around a piece of shit car.
Well, I mean,
I'm not sitting here calling this stuff out, saying I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't think that way because I think that way,
I'm
man.
a shithead. Don't get me wrong.
I want nice shit. But I think it's fucked up that we live in a world where that forms the basis of how we think.
Back to Valentine's Day, I'm actually surprised with, how that now it's kind of like, it's not Christmas anymore. It's like your winter, like the winter carnival, or like it's winter celebration where they've kind of taken Christmas out of it. And then like with a lot of the Native American stuff, like without a Thanksgiving, I'm really kind of surprised if you think about it anymore. Like, and I know they did it, like when you were young, like with the cards where everybody had to get a Valentine's Day card or whatever, like in your class and you're handing them out. But I'm really surprised, like with this handing out of flowers and candy and our care for children's feelings anymore, that shit is even allowed at schools anymore with, the girl, the little slut cheerleader who gets a fucking armful of fucking flowers where they somebody else doesn't get shit, and I'm really surprised with the shaming aspect anymore. I'm really surprised that they let that shit happen anymore.
My wife went and got you got one right there to give. My wife went and got all of our female friends and family Valentine's Day for my 1-year-old son. That's fucking like,
I was happy. This is like the year, like the first year that my son's like old enough we didn't have to buy those cars, and we didn't do any of that shit.
She goes, yeah, and she's like, oh, when you see Randy, give him these, or when you see this person, give it to him so he can give it to his wife. And I said, look, you want me to go fucking here, dude? Here's the fucking Valentine card with some hearts from my 1-year-old for your wife. Here you
Dude,
go.
I would get so in trouble if I was you, because my wife would get into your truck if I was you, and there'd just be all those fucking Valentines eating candy in there. All the cards fucking thrown out the window.
That's why she just gave you that one before we started recording, because they were sitting in my truck.
Boxes those boxes would just be ripped open and on the floorboard.
I've been eating them, and that's why she handed them out herself. But I look at this and I just say, how silly, man. And I get it. It's nice. It's fun. Everyone has a good time. But why do we do that shit?
Well, you know what I noticed, too, is, like, I was never a big fan of the Christmas card either.
Oh, Christmas card?
The Christmas card, you do the mass mailing of the Christmas cards and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get the how's everything going letter, like, oh, well, little Johnny's in this and all this. The funny thing is I noticed, like, I tried to, like, not really, like, other than certain members of my family who are really cool, because I'm on a really different religious plane than a lot of members of my family are. So it's just better for them not to really dive into my world. And I don't invite anybody to my Facebook page. You send an invite, and that's fine, because you asked to be let in. I'm not subjecting you to my bullshit.
Yeah.
And you're free to come, but you're free to fucking leave. I don't want to hear about it. Just leave. But I have noticed that with the advent of Facebook, we don't have to send. I think I lost with the family members I had, most of them, because we don't have to send Christmas cards anymore. And we don't get as many anymore either, is odd.
Yeah, so we get some from a lot of friends from abroad, from the different places we've lived, and we send them out. But I did think about that this past year. I think she wanted to send them out because the kids won and everything, and people like seeing babies dressed up for Christmas. But
Well, the point
far
is
as-
with Facebook and the internet anymore.
It's all right there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, you see them every other day.
So that's the thing. So okay, we have like a friend who takes pictures of the baby, and she's like a photographer, so she does our family pics and everything.
Don't talk about family pictures.
As soon as we get them done, I'm like, hey, let me post one. And she always tells me, you can post one. I said, why just one? There's like 50 right here. And she tells me, you can post one because we're mailing the rest out. I'm just going to fucking turn around after we mail them all out, and we know that we have them, and post them anyways. Social media is kind of doing away with that, right? I mean, that's why you see the post office. The post office isn't really doing well anyways, because who the fuck writes letters anymore? You know, how tripped out would it be if you got a letter in the mail from somebody? Like, if some friend of yours...
my mom is, like, she's just technology-wise is just fucking given up. Any piece of technology that she has...
Right, so I understand it from, like...
We've had to purchase for, like, Blu-ray player. That was us. The computer... She'll never get a computer. Never. Because there's one reason. Because my wife's always like... She's always like, well, maybe we should send him a computer. This way we could send him pictures of the kids. No. Because what's going to happen is they're going to get a computer, and I'm going to get a phone call, and I'm going to have to tech support that shit. And I'm not staying on the phone call, all hours of the day and night tech supporting because, for one, my stepdad doesn't listen. He just starts pressing buttons when you tell him what to do. And then I have to go and redo and figure out what he did. I mean, programming their TV.
I hate explaining. So my grandma's the worst, man. I hate going and having to explain technology to people who don't get it. My grandma has no patience. So.
You know what? Dude, on that, when my mother-in-law was first getting into computers, my wife's telling her over the phone, right-click.
Oh, fuck.
And she just starts fucking typing click. And she keeps writing. My wife's like, you're not right-clicking on that? Like, over the phone?
No, they don't know.
But she's writing click out. She's writing the word click instead of right-clicking on something.
So my grandma, I love her to death, but she has no patience. And there's been times where I've had to go over and help her with her computer. And just having somebody leaning over your shoulder is one thing. But then when you have somebody leaning over your shoulder who doesn't understand, and then she's telling you that she doesn't understand, which you already know that she doesn't understand because you wouldn't be fucking sitting there if she understood. I hate that. And then when you come across strangers in public who don't know, and they're like, well, I don't understand any of this. I don't know. I don't get it. But I guess that's the age we live in, man. Technology and materialism is pretty much like it sets the pace of our lives, Because you know how it is, man. You're an iPhone guy. When the new iPhone comes out, you want to get it. My wife.
I've had every one.
You've had every one, dude. My wife's the same way, man.
Actually, I didn't on this new 6S. I didn't get the 6S because I've done all the S upgrades up until this one, and I went, really, there's no difference every time.
But I mean, why do we all have phones? We have phones we're supposed to have. The main reason is so we can call and have phones on us. And
no, I send dick joke texts. That's what I do.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I go on social media. Shit I could be doing on my computer. It just... I don't know. I remember when I first got my first iPhone, dude, I thought my whole world opened up.
I mean, I use it. This thing, honestly, like, it needs, if it gets out of my hands and somebody else touches it, it should explode. Because there are things in here that would get me kicked out of society if these jokes that were sent back and forth amongst me and my friends, and if somebody got any of this shit out of context, it'd be fucking terrible. I mean, I know if the ISA is looking at shit, I'm fucking getting deported. But with our terrible senses of humor between, what we say on this show, but then what we say off of this show.
Shit used to be so much more private, but now that everybody has smartphones, shit isn't as private as it used to be. You're starting to see that everybody's fucked up in their own way, man. I mean, everybody, dude. With the advent of technology the way it is and the world at your fingertips, literally, you get to see people for who they really are, man. And I think that's what's funny, is that, we live in a world where materialism is what it is, and technology drives us, and these holidays are pretty much forced to where we can buy, keep up. But what we're getting in return is we're getting to see people for who they really are.
The thing is that people are always worried about Big Brother and the government watching you.
They're giving it to them.
Yes, you're giving it to them for free because say you're not paying your taxes, you're doing something shady, or you're not reporting income you've made. Well, you've just posted pictures of the new Bugatti you bought and the new house that you paid for, and all the vacations that you've went on and everything else. There's no reason for you're building all the case against you anyway if this ever comes up to court. There's no reason for the government to spend all this time investigating you. You're giving it up for free.
Dude, when I was in the Army, I never accepted anybody that outranked me on social media because the questions would start fucking coming in. And I did it one time, and I accepted this guy, a staff sergeant. I was a sergeant, he was a staff sergeant, and I posted pictures of things that we were doing, and he went back through my pictures from years ago, and there were pictures of friends of mine and stuff. I think one of my friends had a bong on the table, and, you know, obviously people were sitting around smoking in the picture. Something I was tagged in. It was back from, like, 2006. And he brings me into the office. He's like, hey, man, sit down. He goes, so, do you hang around pot smokers? And I said, what? What the fuck? What? He's like, yeah, man, I was going through your Facebook feed and going through your pictures, and I saw pictures. You know, can you explain this? And he's fucking screenshotted it. I said, first of all, man, that's fucking stalking. That's some scary shit. That's my personal stuff.
You checked the dates on there, shithead.
And I wasn't even on active duty during that time, man. This was like 2005 or something I had posted it. And what does it matter? So what? He's like, well, you know, if the colonel or somebody saw this, you know, it could be your ass. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, that makes no sense. Why was the colonel go just fucking scroll through my page unless he had a reason to think so? And second of all, this doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It's fucking 5 years ago. Who the fuck are you to even be going through my shit like this? That's why I never accept anybody like that. And
well, imagine like even to the point where you post, yeah, we're going to Vegas this weekend. Well, I guess I can go kick in your front door because I know you're not going to be here.
Exactly. That was my next point. That's what I was getting at right now. Is that when you post, oh, going out of town, see you guys later. You're pretty much telling the entire fucking world that follows you, hey, he's not going to be home. And people don't think about that. Granted, I got house sitters and people coming in and out of my house, my dogs. I mean, but still, like, yeah. I mean, we live in a crazy world, man. We live in a crazy world where we're dictated by holiday. We're dictated by 8-foot-tall bunnies, fat men with beards who break into houses, and pumpkins. Right? Like that's what runs our. That's what we have to look forward to. Because now that Valentine's Day is over, what's the next thing, dude? St. Patty's Day. Okay, well, if you're not Irish or you don't party and drink, you know it's Easter. And then once Easter's gone, what's the next big thing? 4th of July. And then 4th of July's gone, and then what's the next big thing? Oh, summer ends, Labor Day. And then once that is it, what is it then? Halloween, Thanksgiving,
Christmas.
Christmas.
The whole thing, yeah.
And then it's all starting over again.
It's all based, and I mean, I'm sure they're trying to figure out ways to dump in some day in August. Well, but then you got back to school shopping.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, so how does the year go? Let's wrap the show up going like this, man. So it starts out, the year starts, Christmas is over.
You got New Year's Day.
You got New Year's Day right off the bat. Christmas has just ended.
Shit, whatever.
Everyone's happy, got new shit, season's greetings. New Year's Day, bam, and then the next month, Valentine's Day, done.
Well, no, okay. you've got Martin Luther King Day, which they're starting to sneak shows and sales and shit in there too, and then you've got President's Day,
which is today, which I didn't even know.
There was one a week before too.
What's today then?
One of them. It's remember they do the Lincoln. There's one that's both President's Day, like it's presidents combined, but then you had the Lincoln and Washington.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Birthday shit. And then you've got that.
And you got Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
Well, not to mention, do we really want to count, depending where you live, if that fucking groundhog sees his stupid Puxatawny Phil, fuck that groundhog.
Okay, so
goofy shit.
So the next thing we got right now, like we said, is St. Patty's Day. Now, that's an Irish holiday, Irish Catholic holiday. So why does everybody in there, why do I see fucking Mexicans going to bars?
Because there's drink specials. Same reason people give a fuck about Cinco de Mayo.
Because they turn your fucking Coronas green, so it gives you an extent. That's the stupidest fucking thing. Okay, so then that's over with. You're hungover, and then, okay, Easter's coming. So let's get ready for this giant rabbit. And, that's when you see everyone go to church for, the twice a year, Christmas and Easter, right? That's when
I guess.
That's when, St. Philip's on Stockdale Highway right
here. There's a couple times when I go and either somebody's dead or, that's
a wedding or something. So Easter's over with, and then it's like, okay, school's about to end, school ends, and then, bam, summer's here. Memorial Day, right? Memorial Day for some of us veterans, then 4th of July. That's the big one.
And there's another one that bugs me, too.
What, Memorial Day?
Do not say Happy Memorial Day, you assholes.
Oh, dude,
It's the
we've already
fucking worst.
I've already done that. That was our first episode of Overwatch, clearing that shit up.
Happy Memorial Day is the fucking.
People would come up to me and be like, "Happy Memorial Day and thank you for your service." And I'd be like, "Okay, well, you know what? Thank you for reminding me about my soldier that was killed. Appreciate that."
For one,
I'm
it's not
happy.
festive.
I'm not happy, and this isn't a day to celebrate my service. I know your heart's in the right place and your intentions are well, but understand what the fuck this holiday is. It's to remember
And
those
can we
who have
call it
died.
what it really is?
Yeah.
The first day of summer and National Barbecue Weekend.
That's all it is.
That's
And they
it.
just want something to kind of like, hey, celebrate. Yeah, I get it. So then that's over with.
So then the beer company can make a special Bud Light red, white, and blue can, Budweiser red, white, and blue can.
Which is, again, pretty much from then until 4th of July, which, if you live in here in Bakersfield, California, now the city's regulating how much fucking fireworks we can use. It's going to come down to the point where you're going to have to go somewhere to watch fireworks. You're not going to be allowed to light fireworks. It's going to be done. Or the only fireworks you can buy for your kids are fucking stupid ones that nobody wants to watch anyways. So 4th of July is here, fireworks, barbecue, beer, yay, okay, cool. You enjoy the rest of summer. Summer comes, back to school shopping, spend some more money. The economy gets kicked up again. Everyone's shopping.
But what you're also forgetting too, is because what hits me is you got to sprinkle in birthdays.
Oh yeah.
To get hit with the company, by the card companies and everything else, because obviously you were just saying 4th of July. Well, August is a shit show in our house because that's my birthday, my daughter's birthday. That was my father-in-law's birthday until he passed a couple years ago. And there's a few other August sprinkled in there. So even on the month that you get a reprieve where you're like, all right, we got nothing here.
You got, or family members' birthdays.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Dude,
you got that, but it's all
so I
just
feel
a
you.
wank.
Yeah,
just to
because
get
there's
you
always an
money.
anniversary or a birthday or God forbid you're with a woman who wants to celebrate not your wedding anniversary, but also the anniversary of the day you met, the anniversary of the day that you got engaged, and the anniversary when you became an official couple.
Engaged?
So suddenly,
I know what it was.
So
O.J. Simpson.
So those are the holidays. And of course, school gets wrapped in, and then fall comes, and Halloween, bam, Thanksgiving, bam, Christmas, and start it all over again. So holidays drive our society. It drives our economy. It focuses people's spending habits to keep the economy moving. That's what I see it as, and we all give into it. I give into it. Fuck yeah, I give into it.
Yeah,
Trust me.
and you almost, but it's the point of it's peer pressure because if you don't, then you're the weirdo. Look at the way. Remember the Jehovah's Witness kid or whatever it was that when you were in school, the one kid who wouldn't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, or when they were out handing out all the handing out the candy.
Or you
whatever.
had a Christmas party at school, and he'd have to go sit in the other room.
Yeah.
Or some shit. Poor fucking kid.
I know. I mean, way to segregate yourself and look like a
We
fucking
know
weirdo.
we know somebody who grew up Jehovah's Witness, and when they became an adult, they were handing out Halloween candy, and what this person did is went out and made a bunch of brownies and pastries, and a bunch of parents didn't let the kids take them, and this person couldn't understand why. It had to be explained to them that, hey, you didn't grow up celebrating Halloween, trick-or-treating and stuff like this. People don't let their kids just take a bunch of home good fucking... Their intentions were right, but they didn't know any better because they grew up all fucking weird. That's strange. So, I mean, that's the opposite end of the spectrum. So, here we are giving into all these holidays, and we live in these holidays, and they drive us, and they form our spending habits. But then if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you don't do any of them, now you're even fucking more
then
weird.
they just come and knock on everybody's fucking door after the holidays. I swear, no shit. They do it intentionally. We live pretty close to one of the Jehovah's Witnesses churches, whatever the hell they're called. And, dude, every New Year's Day, they'll come knocking on the doors. And I'm like, I don't drink New Year's Eve really because I want to be sober when everybody else is hammered. It just feels more controlled with everything gets crazy and shit. And that stems back basically from Y2K fears and shit. But those, I'm surprised one of you hasn't been killed when you go beating on somebody's door New Year's Day.
At like 8, 9 in the morning.
Yeah, dude, it's butt early,
What
too.
fucking weirdos, man. What a weird religion. What an oddball faith to be following. They don't even celebrate birthdays.
Nothing. It's very cultish.
Fucking miserable, man. I'm sorry. And we're sitting here talking shit about these holidays and how they are kind of stupid and silly, but we do buy into them and we do celebrate. I mean, there's got to be a middle ground. I mean, I'm not going to have my...
I'd like to pick and choose. Like, can I get on some plan where I get like 4? Like, I'll take 4 cool ones. Like,
Yeah.
give me Halloween and,
Give me Flag Day, Halloween, my birthday, and Christmas. Be good.
Just give me the drinking holidays, you know. Give me St. Patrick's Day, the ones that really don't mean shit and they're not important.
Oh, don't forget 420. That's
Oh,
a big
you
one.
really want to get into it? Mother's Day. You really want to get into Mother's Day. Oh, reserve. Go buy a diamond for Mom. Make sure Mom, the biggest fast food days, biggest days is, like, not fast food, but like restaurant days and like takeout dinner is Mother's Day. Make sure make Mother's Day special for Mom. Month later, Father's Day rolls around. Don't forget the dads and grads. No, can Dad ever get his own?
Dad.
Fuck no. It's dads and grads.
Yeah, dads, we always get fucked, huh? Don't we?
And here you go. Special on socks and underwear, you poor fucks. When it's like, go to Hellsberg and buy Mom a brand new diamond ring and all this. And Craftsman tools. Okay, honestly, you could fucking bring me a set of tools and I'll throw them at you. I have no use for them. My wife fixes everything around the house, god damn it. So fuck off. I want
I wouldn't mind
PlayStation
some
games. No, this shit. You know what? I wouldn't mind having them so I could fake in my garage. I want my garage to look like fucking tool time and shit, but I can't do anything with that shit. I'll just be cool and go out and drink out there. I'm going to the garage, and then I do nothing with it. I just go out there and dust them off and shit.
No, man, I want a new compressor.
Yeah, see, I want shit like that, but I could do goofy shit with that. I could shoot fucking nails or some shit. I mean, I want it for goofy shit. I ain't nothing good with
funny.
it.
I don't know, man. Mother's Day is one of those days where,
You should have to celebrate your mother.
I mean, I'd rather celebrate Mother's Day and celebrate your mother than have to, you know.
But I don't need to get crazy and buy a bunch of shit for my wife because she ruined my life by having my shitty kids. She should be giving me shit for letting that spawn live.
Well, before we end, I think that the worst holiday ever is Easter. I think the whole concept of Easter is fucking stupid. It goes back to pagan days when they would celebrate the spring solstice, and that's exactly where it stems from. Christians, just for some reason...
Well, isn't the whole egg it's all a fertility festival
it's
and
a
all?
fertility, spring's here, make babies, I get it, but the whole concept of Christians, taking it over and making it about Christ rising and, Good Friday.
Well, I mean,
First of
Christmas is a
all,
winter solstice.
So check this out. My wife goes to Mass on Ash Wednesday, comes home, and she's like, what are we going to do for dinner? I was like, took ribs out. Not even knowing. She's like, we have to fast. Fuck that.
Well, you did know what Tuesday was before Ash Wednesday, right?
Fat Tuesdays, yeah.
Yeah, but it was National Pancake Day. It was National Pizza Day. For one, a dude who had to walk around the desert, who barely had a pair of sandals, that had to shit outside and all this other, really gives a fuck about, oh, you're such a victim that you can't eat McDonald's or you can only have a fillet of fish on Friday. I'm sure the heavens and shit are going to open up for you.
I don't buy into it. I think it's ridiculous. The whole thing about fasting during Lent was because back in the Dark Ages, food was scarce and the church needed a way to control its people, and so they came up with this fucking concept and it somehow stuck. And people fast and they don't eat meat. No, I think it's stupid, it's silly, and I don't buy into it.
Oh, this is going to be the longest one we've done. We should probably punch out.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure this was one of those episodes that someone's listened to and they're offended.
Hate mail.
Sorry. Send us your hate mail. Send us your messages. Counter our argument. These holidays are stupid, and I'm going to go eat a big fat fucking cheeseburger all week long. And meat and steak, and you know what? When I die, guess what? Nothing's going to happen to me.
The only thing that's really cool about this whole Lent is filet of fish go on sale, dude. Filet of fish kind of rule, so I'm kind of down with it for a little bit.
Hungry. I haven't eaten all day. But anyways, holidays are weird. Vegas was fun.
Valentine's Day is bullshit. We're out.
Yep. It's Chadman Man Show. Out.